Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. LSU and Auburn, 6 o'clock inside Tiger Stadium. It'll be a Saturday night in Death Valley. LSU announced a little bit earlier today that that game is sold out. We'll see what the environment's like. I think it should be pretty good. The weather's going to be good. LSU still very much has their goals out in front of them. It's a traditional rivalry game, and that's kind of where I wanted to start here is that LSU and Auburn are not going to play next year. And LSU and Auburn may not play inside Tiger Stadium for a couple of years. We don't know what that's going to look like. And that's been a source of a lot of discussion. The morning show guys yesterday kind of went through their memories. I was listening to Scott Rabelais on with the Live at Lunch guys, and they went through some of their memories of this series over the years. Tex Morris has been a partner of our station for over a decade with Jimmy Ott for longer than that. And he's going to have his party tomorrow, big Auburn guy, and he's going to have a tailgate party out there at his office, and that's something that we look forward to every year at this station. And it's been a fantastic run between LSU and Auburn, and I don't want to just rehash all the stuff that has always been rehashed this week, but I do want to just point to some data and some personal memories of what LSU and Auburn meant. LSU and Auburn did not play annually, for those that are a little bit younger, until the SEC went to divisions in 1992. And since 1992, when this game became an annual game inside the SEC West, LSU has won 17 and Auburn has won 14. It has been remarkably closely contested over the years. Between 2000 and 2010, the LSU-Auburn winner won the West 7 of 11 times. Arkansas snuck in there, had a couple Bamas late there in 8 and 9. But 7 of 11 between 2000 and 2010, the winner of this game won the West. And those were my formative years in LSU football. The game that set the hook for me was the 97 Florida game here when I was 9. But I was at the Independence Bowl when I was 7 years old in 1995, and Eddie Kennison's running, and I'm going nuts, and that's fantastic. I was at the one against Notre Dame in 97. So I have earlier memories of LSU football and certainly knew that that was my team, and that's who my dad pulled for, and that's who I was pulling for, and all of that. But once you get to where I was 12 years old in 2000, into this run of through my college years, so that 10-year run from when you're 12 to when I'm sports obsessed at that point through my college years, this was the biggest game on the schedule. I think it would be very difficult for me to tell a 15-year-old who's in high school, hey, when I was younger, the Bama game wasn't that big a deal. When I was younger, like the Auburn game was the game. And there are plenty of you that are older, and Alabama was that game in the 70s, and it circled back around. There may be some of you older than that were really fired up to play Ole Miss or Tulane back in the day. But Auburn and LSU had their run. And while you could look at plenty of history in games that have more history, LSU and Ole Miss, LSU and Mississippi State, LSU and Alabama, you could look at maybe a rivalry that has been more hotly contested in the Tebow years with LSU and Florida. And you could look at a new one with Texas A&M that played at the end of the year where there's a lot more on the line. You cannot argue that there has been a more storied rivalry than the one between LSU and Auburn. I mean, we played Mississippi State more than any other opponent. How many times we just beat Mississippi State by 24 points and that was the end of the game and I don't really know anything else that happened? Like, that happens all the time. And it's been one-sided. LSU's won far more against Mississippi State. When you start looking at games that you can say 1, 2, or 3 words and immediately conjure up emotional memories about where you were and what you felt, that's pretty special. Earthquake. I wasn't around, but many of you were. The interception game. I don't have to tell you what team. I don't have to tell you what year. What, you know. Fourth quarter interceptions. The barn burned. Cigars. Leverage. Remember that one? Oh, I was in high school. A little intense. Didn't love the call. Got to be honest. Did not love the call on Auburn's missed extra point of leverage, which didn't get called the rest of the season. It's one word. Pass interference game. You could probably look at a few others there, but the one that certainly comes right to my mind is my freshman year at LSU, where Jamarcus throws over the middle to early Doucette, and Auburn comes through the back, and they throw the flag, and then pick it up. Flynn to Bird. Don't have to say any more on that one. And then you could get a little bit more in depth with the 20-point comeback from a couple of years ago. And how about the fact that Auburn did not win inside Tiger Stadium from 1999 to 2021. And the head coach that broke that streak was not Tommy Tuberville, who had an undefeated season, was not Gene Chizik, that won a national championship, was not the Gus Bus, who played for a national championship at Auburn. It was Brian Harsin came in here and ended the streak with Bo Nix, who at that point was just an underachieving five-star. He's certainly ascended to greater heights in Oregon. But you would have never bet. No, not Cam Newton, not the national chance. Of course, they didn't get the chance. I get it. But who's the quarterback and coach that busted it? Well, it's Bo Nix and Brian Harsin. It's been a ridiculous run. I didn't even mention Leonard Fournette's game where he went nuts. I didn't even mention Les Miles getting fired in 2016. Like, I'm not telling you it's the longest history. I'm not telling you it's the most intense history. I'm just telling you in terms of stories, there is not a game on LSU's schedule and has not been a rivalry that has produced more content in the last 30 years. And it's going away annually. LSU's still going to play Auburn. They'll still go to the Plains. They'll still fly the Eagle. They'll still come to Saturday night in Death Valley. That game will go on. It's just not going to happen every year. And the question is, do you as an LSU fan, are you going to miss that annually? Are you disappointed that Auburn's only going to come probably every 4 years instead of every 2 years? And that's your emotional connection to it, just how you feel. I've been consistent on this and certainly haven't changed as I go back down memory lane on this, that LSU playing Auburn in October, September, November, whenever it comes, and LSU playing Oklahoma in that same exact playing date, that's okay with me. Yeah, I have memories of playing Auburn and running down on the field when I was a sophomore in high school in 2001. I was an eighth grader in 2001 when the 9/11 game got postponed into November and LSU won that game and won the West for the first time. Yeah, I was in middle school, and I don't have that same connection with Oklahoma, even though 2 years later LSU beat them to win a national championship. No, I can't draw on years and years of memories. But the fact that Oklahoma's coming out of there in the crimson and cream is the same to me and the same level as it is if Auburn runs out of that tunnel. It's a big football game. I know it. Now, if you told me I was dropping Auburn and I was going to go play Western Kentucky, well, then we'd have a different discussion because that doesn't create the emotional stir, the incredible environment, the high-stakes football that we know and love. But the stakes to me are just as high if LSU goes to Austin, Texas to play as if they go to the Plains of Auburn. That's how I feel about it. Now, I didn't play for LSU. I may not be in your age range. We all have different reasons we love the sport and different reasons we watch the sport and different feelings and memories about pulling for LSU and all the great things that that's brought. I just am not going to be up in arms about not playing Auburn next year, not playing Mississippi State next year. If they took Florida off the schedule, I'd be fine. I'd be fine if we didn't play Alabama. Now, again, I don't want to go play in the Sun Belt. Don't misunderstand me. I want to play big-time football games. But to me, if you send LSU up to Neyland Stadium to play, or Georgia comes here, I'm just as fired up as if we're playing Auburn or Florida, who's a more traditional rival. But it bears mentioning just how great this series has been. And even when you don't expect it to be great, it's generally great. We've had some stinkers. Brandon Harris's first start was a whitewashing by Auburn. A couple years ago, LSU got smoked on the Plains. In 2011, Auburn came here with a backup quarterback, and it was just an absolute bloodbath. But far more often than not, this game has delivered unbelievable stuff. I mean, I went through all those that we were talking about there. I didn't even mention a couple of them. I didn't mention Bring Back the Magic. The storylines are there's almost a story for every year. That just doesn't exist for any other team on LSU's schedule. So LSU and Auburn will do it one more time annually at 6 o'clock on Saturday night in Death Valley, and I'm very much looking forward to getting inside Tiger Stadium. The first thing I tweeted out when LSU finished the deal against Missouri was, hey, this will be a pretty good environment. Because what have we had so far inside Tiger Stadium? Night game with Arkansas, okay. Grambling, that didn't do anything for anybody. You wait all summer for that great environment inside Tiger Stadium, and now that we're kind of into the season a little bit, you've got a traditional rival on the other side, and LSU still controls its destiny basically in the West if you assume Ole Miss isn't going to win out. Should be fun inside Tiger Stadium coming up on Saturday night. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.